Hello and welcome back to the course. So today we are going to study about the AutoCAD User Interface, and in this topic we are going to see some points like adding and remove tools from the quick access toolbar, hide and show the ribbon tabs and panel, reorder the ribbon tabs and panel, and floater ribbon panel, hide and show the panels. So the first thing we are going to understand in our topic today is the workspace. So as you know, in the previous video I have told you that here you can see this is the tab for the workspace, and the workspace acts as a different environment for you to create your design more efficiently and easy way. So in AutoCAD there are pre-installed workspace, like the current here which is highlighted by blue is our drafting and annotation workspace, and it is a current workspace, and there are other workspace present in AutoCAD. So as you can see, here is an architecture workspace, a 3D basic workspace, 3D modeling workspace, and there are other options for creating new workspace. We can also customize our workspace. So we are going to see how we do that. So the workspace allows you to control the display and the position of most user interface elements within the AutoCAD application window. Once you have arranged the AutoCAD user interface, you can just save the current and as a name workspace which can be later be restored. So creating task based what or industry specific workspace can be a great way to ensure you have access to tools you need to when you need them. So the first thing we are going to do here is to save and set a workspace. So to do, a workspace is used to store the current state of AutoCAD user interface. So in this exercise we are going to let create a workspace, and we are going to give a name to that workspace, and then we are going to do some settings which are necessary for creating a design as per your requirement. Okay, so to do that, first we are going to go in AutoCAD, the status bar. This is the AutoCAD workspace switching, and here also at the bottom you can see that there is an icon which is a work switching settings, and here if you click on this arrow you can see that there are different again the same options which are available on the top are available here. The architecture workspace, the 3D modeling and drafting workspace are available here. So on the menu here we are going to choose the save current as, click on it, and then here we are going to create a new workspace. So we will give a workspace a name, and for example we can take it my workspace for example, and create a save like this. So you have created a workspace. To check it you can simply go here, and now in this panel you can see that my workspace is option available. A tick here shows that this is your current workspace. So when you have a tick here means you are working in that, the environment of that workspace is now active. The next thing we are going to do is to in the new workspace we are going to do some options. So on the status bar click on the workspace switching, and here as you can see we are already selected our workspace settings. So if you want to save your workspace anytime while doing your options, you can simply type in the command bar which is at the bottom here. This is our command bar, and in the command bar we will select WS autosave and hit enter. So our workspace settings will be saved and give the options accordingly. So I will enter 1 and OK. So this my workspace settings have been saved. The next thing we are going to do now is that we are going to do some changes. So we are going to control the order of the workspace, and now then we are going to add and remove tools from the quick access toolbar. So in the previous video we have understand that this part of the area in our AutoCAD application is the quick access toolbar, and in the quick access toolbar we get some options which are easily will help us to create our drawings and to use our productivity faster. So we can open our designs from here, we can save it to another file name, you can use our plotting options, undo and redo. But only these options are not available, there are more options we can add to a quick access toolbar. And to go that, we are going to go into the customize, customize, click here, and then here we can customize our quick access toolbar. So for example, I want to add these two to my quick access toolbar. I will simply click here, and again going into the arrow, we will seek the layer. So we have added two new access toolbar. So while working in the AutoCAD, if I want to choose the layer, I can simply go here and change the layer type. So these are the quick functions which can reduce, which can increase our work efficiency and reduce error time. So here, if I want to remove this from the quick access toolbar, we can simply go here, click on it, and if I go and remove this batch plot, I will simply click here, and that batch plot icon is also removed. Okay, so I think you have get the point how to add and remove tools to the quick access toolbar. The next thing we are going to do is to control the display and the ribbon panel. So to do that, a ribbon is a main area of AutoCAD. So this is our ribbon, and it is a main area where all the commands and all the things go. So the ribbon is a main area of AutoCAD application window that provides access to the tools used to create and modify the object within in your drawing. Each ribbon tab can be thought as a logical grouping of related tools. So for example, you can see that this is a draw tool, draw ribbon, and in the draw ribbon there are tools, and these are all the tools are specifically to designing or creating a design. And in the next panel here you can see the modify tools, and all these tools help us to modify a design we have created, and so on. In each tab there are all the objects grouped similar to that function of that ribbon. So to show and hide the ribbon tabs and panel, we can do that. The display states of the ribbon tab and panel can be changed based on whether you have used the tools that are part of the logical grouping. So if you are if you right click over any tabs, so if I right click on any tab here, you can see you can see that the tabs are currently displayed by a tick. So here, as you can see, the tabs are currently displayed. Clicking here, each and every tab is selected which I have selected here. For example, here I am seeing layer here, and the layer is selected in this panel. Okay, then the next draw is selected, modify is selected, annotation is selected, block is selected. So each and every tab is selected with a tick in front of it, and you can right click to show which tab is displayed and which tab is hidden. So here all the tabs are selected, and that's where all the tabs are seen. And if, for example, if I take a clipboard and if I click here, the clipboard is now invisible, and if I right click now anywhere on this tab and in the panel, if I go, I will see that the clipboard here is unticked. So to bring it back, I will simply click on tick button. So this is how you can remove parameters in the here. So if, for example, we are going to remove this parametric tab and add coordinative tab. So to do that, right click in the tabs, we are going to remove this parameter tab. Okay, so as you can see, the parameter here is gone, and to bring, what can I say, here we can select any tab. So for example, I am installing 3D tool tab. I can add a 3D tool tab here. So in this settings in my workspace, I can also work in a 2D and a 3D by adding this 3D tool tab from the workspace. So it depends upon you how you use it and how you don't use it. We can also restore our by simply undoing what we have done like this. Okay, so as you can see, our parametric tab is back on this panel. So this is how you can add and remove, show and hide your ribbon tabs and panel. So to reorder the ribbon tabs and panel, sometimes you might want not to be, sometimes you might not want to hide a panel or tab, but move it to the ribbon to a different place. So if I, for example, this is the modify panel, I want to simply want it first and the draw second. So I will simply click here like this on this modify panel and drag it like this on the left hand side and leave the mouse button. In the similar fashion, we are going to go into the dimensions. In the dimensions annotate tab, here we can select the dimensions ribbon, and the dimensions ribbon we can simply select and drag to the left hand side. So you can also move it and then again restore it to your original position. So this is how you can change the settings here. So to float a ribbon panel, so a panel on a ribbon can be made to be float in the application window. When a ribbon panel is floating, it is visible no matter which ribbon panel is active. This can be beneficial when you might be switching between several different type of tools. So for example, if we are working on a project, and while working on a project I need a specific kind of a command. For example, here we are going to take in the home tab, I want a layer command, and the layer command, as you know, it is very important tool, and every time we have to use it again and again for our design purpose. So if I select this layer tool and simply drag down here and place it accordingly wherever I want to place and use it. So in this we can work on the layer tools, and then if I want to work in another tab, like if I am working in annotation tab and giving dimensions to my design, and while dimensions I want to change the layers, so I can quickly go here and change the changes while rather going to the home tab and doing the same thing. Again we can use this layer tab, and here you can see that there are some grips. With these grips we can move our grip to the different positions of our design, and to restore this tab we can simply click here and it will be automatically be restored to its previous location. Okay, so this is how we can float a ribbon panel. So to display and reposition palettes, AutoCAD while several modeling palettes to manage layer, external references and sheet sets. In workspace you can save the current display, stats and position of a palette you frequently use. So to do that we go into, for example, we go and click on the view tab. So go and click on the view tab, and here by default it is like this. So if I click on the tool palette, you can see here that a tool palette window has pop up. So these are different types of palettes which we can open here. So if I want to change its position, I can simply select it like this and drag it according to my drawing designing. So we are repositioning from here or here, then we can set it to the screen and fix it like this. We can also remove it again. We can go it and put it in our desired location like a floating window, and then we can also, while after working, I don't need to see this command, so I can simply click on the auto hide option here, and the window will collapse it on itself. So these are the functions which are necessary while we are designing. So modify a workspace with a custom user interface editor. so which is called as CUI editor. So the custom user interface editor provides much greater control over the UI elements that make up a workspace. So you can display custom user interface editor by doing one of the following. Either you go on the user interface by going into the manage tab, click here, then go into our custom user interface, which is this, and then select the option, or in the command text here in the command bar simply click and enter CUI and hit enter. So while hitting enter, a window will show, and this window shows that this is a custom user interface window, and here you can see that in the options we are getting all the settings which we have done earlier. So we are getting a classic workspace, drafting workspace, 3D basic, 3D modeling, and the workspace which I have created now. So all the workspace are being shown. If you are going to notice that my workspace have a bracket and it is saying current, so this is the current workspace which we are working on. So this is how we can show and enter and do some editing our workspace. By simply clicking here, we can add more tools and settings in our workspace. So this way we can create an environment which we can create and add and remove some tools. So give access to the tools which are necessary to create a project, and remove the unnecessary tool which might be a problem while creating a design. So in this video we are going to end it up here. So thank you very much. Have a nice day. Happy learning.